like to call to order our June 21st, 2021 Jones County Board of Education Special Call Board meeting. I'd like to thank all visitors and guests and all those watching virtually in attendance. Ms. Candace, let the record show we have a quorum of 5 board members, Mr. Griffin, Mr. Walston, myself, Mr. Brown, and Ms. Fial. Also present in the boardroom, Dr. Thigpen, and on by phone, Board Attorney Mr. Shive. At this time, I'd like to ask all to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll ask if there's any adjustments to our agenda.
I don't think we can adjust on special call anyway.
Okay. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve and nobody said that. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I need, if we can't make adjustments, we got to move.
Yeah, I made the motion.
Second.
Okay. Have a motion on the floor by Mr. Griffin to accept them, set the agenda. Second by Mr. Brown. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We'll move right into item number 2, the board stipend. I don't know who wants to start that conversation.
This probably leans on me. I've had a change of heart about that. And I'll accept responsibility for that. I just have changed my opinion on a few things since we handled this the first time. And I'd rather not elaborate and get into details right now, but I'll let Dr. Thigpen know what my feelings are and the rest of the board at some point. But I've just had a change of heart about what we're putting into it. Some things have changed for me. I didn't just come to this overnight, but me personally, some things have changed about how I look at my responsibilities as a board member and my input. Maybe I'm not doing some things right, so I'm just kind of reevaluating myself on anything, and I've kind of come to this point. So it's on me.
You gonna give us your suggestions of what to do?
I would like to take a decrease from what we had before we were at 825 total with a 200 travel and a 625. I'd like to go to what we were before. It's been about 3 years ago when we were 425 and a 200. And I'd like to keep it at that if we could I feel like that's a lot more fair, a lot more in line with people our size. It may be a little bit more, but like I say, I've had a change of heart about, our responsibilities. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. 425 and a 200 on the travel. That would put us back to where we were before we had that increase the last time. Forgot the date. It's been about 2 or 3 years.
Probably almost 2 years almost.
Okay.
I think it's mine and David's first year on the board.
I think you're right.
So prior to this, what we had said was 100 monthly and 200 travel.
Yes, sir.
Is that where we were?
Yes, sir.
You also changed
The per meeting.
the extra meeting now.
I'd like to leave that as it is if we could. We found out here recently about when it comes budget time and a couple more. I feel like the meeting pay, especially at $50, I feel like we actually show up and earn that, and I feel like we do the other. But the extra meetings, I would like to keep that at $50 if we could.
You mean how we voted for that?
Yes,
Yeah.
keep it the way it was last time we handled it. I think the 425 was prior to, what'd you say, August of 19? 2019, I believe.
I think the commissioners had a vote on like in August.
Anybody don't have anything, I'll make a motion. We vote.
They got,
I got a question for Colin.
they got another 3. They got another 3.
Can you hear me, Colin?
Can I say that question for me?
Yes, sir, Shimada.
Yes, sir.
Can we do this?
Can we do this?
Yeah.
So, all we can do is ask the county commissioners to set our compensation.
No, I'm talking about a motion to reconsider. We already made a motion and passed, at a meeting prior to this. Can we do a motion to reconsider?
It has to be, yeah, you can do a motion to reconsider, it would actually be, at this point, it would be a motion to rescind, would be the proper vote, I believe. But either way, if it's in a normal body, in a larger body, 3/5 vote, but you guys are only 5-person body, so any majority vote is gonna be 3/5.
And a motion to reconsider does not have to be made at the same meeting.
So that's why it will be a motion to rescind a prior act.
So if we did a motion to rescind, that just sends it back to,
But I still thought it was a time limit on that. Even to rescind.
A motion to rescind,
Robert rules.
is any time, any later meeting included.
If you have that in a local policy.
What's that?
If you have that in a local policy, right? I thought Robert rules said immediately after the vote on rescinding.
A motion to reconsider has to be at the same meeting. That's the difference between a motion to reconsider and a motion to rescind. And also, go ahead.
Nobody said anything, I don't think.
I think you got cut off.
You got
I think
that
he
on?
did get cut off.
Colin, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think he was saying like if he needed to.
so to do this right, I mean, if we rescinded it, then wouldn't that just take it back to the original, the 825? Then we'd have to vote again to bring it back down to 425 kind of thing.
Well, in the motion, make a motion probably rescind and put it back put it back to what it was in 2018 in the same motion. And that would put it back because the extra meeting money was separate from just stipend money anyway, in my opinion. I don't know what Colin's gonna say, if you're gonna do something like that.
At the end of the day, all we're doing is asking the county commissioners making a request to the county commissioners for how they're gonna set the board's compensation. And so, there's several ways you can do it. I think you could, make a motion to, have we actually posed to the county commissioners the request to decrease the stipend? Has that been relayed to commissioners?
The same,
I don't know if it has or not.
the budget's the same.
Melissa, two of them, so I don't know if it has or not. The county commissioner.
Have we sent it to the
And your
commission?
response to that?
Still discussing. Have y'all sent the budget to the commissioners yet?
We've sent,
The way we did it,
Yes.
the way you had us do it in 2019, Colin, because we had passed the budget and they had voted on it 2 or 3 times. When it came back in August, you wanted us to have it spelled out so they knew what they were voting on in 2019. Just for our board stipend.
In 2019, I know that we communicated to the commissioners what we wanted them to set the stipend at, and then they took action to do that. I guess that's my question. But I think we're maybe trying to overcomplicate it a little bit. All that we can do is make a request to them. And so any action that we take isn't setting anything. It's not effectuating any change. It's just deciding amongst ourselves what we're going to ask the commissioners to do, and it's up to commissioners whether or not they're going to do it. So wherever we are with the commissioners in terms of requesting where they want to set our stipend, the board just, if it wants to take it for course today, you can either make a motion to rescind the last vote that you made, or you can just make a new motion to say this is what we want the stipend to be at, moving forward.
I feel like that'd be the simplest thing with the second one. A motion to request a change back to whatever, that 425 and 200. Where it was for 10, 11 years.
Wow. I wouldn't be in favor, but y'all make the motion and we'll move forward.
So you got that for action item down here on number 3. We're gonna skip the other one. That's gonna amend it. I'll make a motion to amend the agenda and go to the board stipend action item while we're on the subject.
I agree. Motion by Mr. Griffin to go to item 3, action item, board stipend.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Walston. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
All opposed, say nay. All right, we'll move into the action item for the board stipend.
Need a motion? I make a motion that we, set our pay at $425 and 200 travel monthly.
Which that'll cover all in-state travel.
Yes, yeah, that's the way we've been doing it, I think.
Well, that ain't the way they've been paying us travel too. That's why I say it wasn't ever done right. So we're just $200 flat fee travel covers all our travel to and from trainings and,
I'm fine with that.
uh,
I'm fine with
I
that.
mean, that's the way it was set up originally.
Yeah.
Okay, motion on the floor by Mr. Walston to make our stipend $425 monthly with $200 travel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Fee, all in favor, say aye.
Uh,
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries. You got the 32, Candace?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll move on to item number 2, the superintendent goals for 2021-22. I think I called all of y'all about, since we were gonna get together today for the other, to maybe come up with some overall goals for Dr. Thigpen or the school, any kind of ideas that y'all wanted to pass along to Dr. Thigpen for the upcoming year, which I know we do a pretty good job talking to them individually. But I feel like this is a good time for all of us, for us 5 to at least talk to Dr. Thigpen together, because we all might have different ideas. So I'll start it. One thing that's on my mind, and I think it should be apparent, is the baseball fields. That's my number one goal for this coming year, is to build that ball field. Whatever it takes. I mean, I want to know what the start times are, you know, what the end times are, what the contract. I want all of it, because I still don't even know where we are right now. But that is a number one goal for me. So.
You should do a groundbreaking,
That's a great idea too.
For what now?
a groundbreaking for it.
I think that's an awesome idea. What's some other?
This is gonna sound very vague, but it kind of comes from what we've been coaching idea, but we know we're in a hole in every aspect of the game coming out of this virus. Everybody is. I want everybody, if we can, to be fresh and have a lot of good ideas and just listen to everybody else. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing it out in the public. It seems like people are really going the extra mile. Maybe I just hadn't been on the bad side of town, but I've seen people have a great attitude coming out of this thing, and I want to see us do it. I want us to start like, you know, we're way behind and we're catching. And I know we are. It's easy to say that, but you know, I'd love to start it with a brand new, fresh attitude if we can.
Another.
Not being critical of anything past. I'm just, you know, we're going into territory we hadn't been into before, and now's a chance for us to start over in a way. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't been able to show what he could do. We hadn't been able to show what we could do. The teachers hadn't been able to show what they could do. So now's the proving ground. Let's get with it. We've been held back. The dog's been in the box too long. I'm sorry. We in Jones County, I think I could say that.
Another goal for me, and I don't know how the board feels about it, is the sixth grade movement to the middle school. That's still that one's still on my checklist. And I really don't know how that one's ended either with the group. I know that it went to a vote with parents, I think.
We got
A
feedback
survey?
from the parents, and the intent is on the 29th to bring it, you know, make a recommendation.
To the board.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do anything, we need to make it an action item, either to do it or not do it by the 29th, and not get a parent 6 weeks coming into school.
And the schools, really.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Because they don't need to be left up in the air either.
Are we going to offer any kind of a public hearing, or feel like we've done a good enough job with the survey?
We've consulted with Colin and all concerning this, and we feel like we're in a good place where we are.
That'll be decided the 29th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I don't really have any goals or directions because he's got kind of a job description to do or whatever anyway, and how to cover it. I just, you know, want him to be able to do the best he can. I know in the past when I've sat with other boards, on the Board of Education, and some of the arguments in the past when we set up goals for a superintendent to do something, or we want them to see do this. I'm not saying that it's focused on, say, the 5 goals, but if the superintendent made all 5 of them goals, he's doing a lousy job everywhere else. He's met our requirements, so we got to be careful about setting distinctive goals. And so, I mean, just, I think saying what's on our priority list, we'd like to make sure he does, just like what you're saying, Myron, what you're saying, Larry. I'm saying we just need to be careful not to give him direct goals or direct comment. And he makes all them, and we should all be happy, but he's done a lousy job everywhere else. Then his evaluation is going to be kind of like a cardiac graft. This is my observation. it didn't really work out with when we set other goals by other board members. In the long run, it didn't really work out. But I mean, the ideas and things I think we need to bring up, and I think it'd be good if we had some stuff, maybe bring it up during our board member comments at the end or at the beginning where we kind of feel like we need to address it. If there's anything we see that might need to go a different way. That's just my opinion. It's not. And I think it's all gonna come into play. If some of us see something that we think he needs to do, we're probably gonna go to him anyway and tell him. And then if he don't do it, then you can come back and tell us and we'll just mark him down at the end of the year or whatever. But I think we just need to be careful.
And that's one of the things I was gonna say, I will personally, if it's an individual parent or whatever, I will continue to call you. I never give, unless it's needed, I never give any names, whether it be a teacher or whatever. When I call you, but I will tell you there's an issue going on, maybe I don't know, we'll just use possible, Jones saying it doesn't matter. A concern from a parent and tell them what the concern is, that would be specifically. And you've always told me you would look into it, get back to me, and you always have, so I will continue that practice unless it becomes bigger than the problem itself, and then it will come to us.
Well, definitely have to agree with, Billy. And I've been saying that the whole time that we should be giving directive from being a long shot or a maverick telling you what to do. I think all these goals need to be a board as a whole, and those goals there are in his job description, making sure the baseball field get built. And I just think that one of the important goals for him is that he is doing a job description. But again, I think one of my goals, and it should be a board, is that every kid should be on a third grade reading level by the time they're in third grade. We see all the studies on how that deters the student life path staying on the third grade reading level. I think that we definitely got to be a main priority here in Jones County. I know it's kind of hard to get those numbers this year with the pandemic, but that should be a major goal that every kid is on third grade reading level. Can we get there? We probably can't be 100%, but I think that should be a focus.
That's the threshold that's always been discussed.
That's present in the pipeline.
Absolutely.
That's that pipeline present, that's that pipeline, the job is that third graders keep her in third grade.
That's what we've always heard. They're in their path by the end.
Yeah, we don't need to pass up grade level is what I'm talking about. You don't need a third grader to go to fourth grade when he's not on the third grade level. And we've had it in the past where they couldn't do it. I don't know how the IEPs do on some kids or whatever. But yeah, I think that's.
But I think that's when we're talking about board goals and not individual goals, I mean, that sounds basic education. Is that what the board needs to make sure?
It's my opinion, it don't mean nothing, but I feel like we've done a good job today. We need to express those goals in the meeting to you live in the meeting. I mean, a lot of the piecemeal stuff we've done in the past, come to visit you, that needs to be a, hey, how you doing, I think. And we need to do what we've done today as far as the goals and what we expect out of you. It needs to be I feel like it needs to be during the meeting. So that's the way I'm gonna try to do it from now on. If I stick my head in, it's because I'm in here to pick up a check, and I'm just saying that.
Fair enough, I think.
Well, or to see somebody that I'm working for, which Ron falls under the head of that. But.
So, I mean, these goals are, I mean, the focus on the academic, we've already talked with our administrators that after this year we know next year is going to be really important academically, and that, there's going to be some shifting in schools that have done well and not going to be where they need to be, and some that haven't, and so that's, all the plans we've made for the summer and leadership preparation is based upon that we get on top of the academics from the get-go.
Please, we've been good in this area for a long time. We're getting to be where we're known for that, and that's the number one reason why we do what we do.
So,
That's what I say, but again, remember your comments, you got a job description, and I think though, again, we should know if the board, redid our stipend or not. I mean, that's, we come to you, you know, we don't go to Melissa or whatever. That should be known. I mean, it was 3 months ago. I mean, we don't have an answer yet. Which I did text Frank, and he said he believed it passed, but he wasn't for sure either. So, I mean, those kind of things, that's not a board goal. I think that's just, as Mr. Griff said, it's in the job description. You know, I definitely would love to see the ball fields get started and an update on that.
I'm just shocked at the ball fields of where they are right now because I thought this was gonna be handled. I thought we ought to be breaking the ground before Dr. Thigpen even came into play. While we're still in the interview stage, I thought we should have been breaking the ground out there. And it's still not. I don't even know where we are. Colin, you still working on contracts on the ball field?
Well, we've gotten those, they should be, they're done on my end, and we've sent them off, so I don't, have you guys gotten them back to central office?
We've not seen anything from them, no.
It's just dragging out way too long. It's just been drug out.
Can you give them a call now, please?
Yes, we can call.
And also, and listen to Ms. Fia and Larry at times, is there a protocol in place that employees or teachers have to follow for as a complaint or anything?
Yes, I mean, usually, you know, like if teachers have a complaint, they go to the principal, and if it doesn't get addressed, you know, by the principal, then they come to the central office, talk to one of them, and that's usually.
Is there anything to stop it from getting to Ms. Fia first and on her shoulders, you know, before you even have a shot at it?
We can emphasize to all the employees as we begin the year to go in that direction, but, you know, part of it would be when they do call, you know, you say, you need to speak with your principal about this, and then if it hasn't, then, you know, handle by the principal.
And that's what I usually
That's-
tell them, but I make him aware of it. Yeah.
I do have one goal. I want you to work on talking louder.
It'll take you to get it.
Second. I asked Byron said sometimes he can't hear you too well, and I'm deaf. So, I mean, I can hear you if you're looking at me, but when you turn that way, I can't hardly hear you.
Since Ron's
that's
not
all
here
I know.
anymore in the middle, I can hear him real good. I think we need to be careful how we handle that. If people come to us as a citizen, as a voter, and talk to us about something broad about their wishes of the school system, that's one thing. If they run to us with something specific, wanting us to fire a principal or something like that, that ain't our area. No, I'm not talking about, I'm just saying some things that have happened in the past. I don't want people to be misconstrued in that thinking we're above them, because we work for them. And they need to be able to come to us with overall concerns, but if they want to get specific about their job, they need to take it to their boss, which is the principal. And that's two different things, because I don't want people to think we think we're above the job. We're not. If it's an overall, like the roof is bad on the elementary school, y'all look at it, that's different. But if it's a specific job related thing, that's not our territory, that's your territory, or the principal chain of the chain.
Yes, sir.
That's two things, make sure, because I don't want people to think we're above the job. And I'm not saying that you were saying that, Shamata, I'm saying this,
No,
I just want to make sure that they are,
But I think
Get both sides of
but
that.
they can get that notion or
yes.
to think that we are and that we can handle those kind of things.
Is there,
And I think we can't handle it until it get to a grievance in the personnel.
Our overall response needs to be, you have to take it to your immediate boss. And that's what you're saying. So I think
is there like a state grievance thing? I mean,
That's in the
or does
personnel
it-
policy, I agree with you.
okay.
and
An
if,
employee, it's an
Yeah,
employee.
what I read, and I'd like to go through the chain of command because the employees are in line now with the personnel policy.
that's right.
If he or she is not following the grievance process, we can't help them.
Right.
They followed the grievance process, and the principal didn't do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
the superintendent didn't do anything. Now the board.
Then it falls on us.
But if you went straight to the board, you killed the policy.
Skip two
and you
lines.
two links in the
And
chain
you
are
keep your
now.
right to argue. You're right. Because then you, once the board asks them whether you talk to your principal superintendent, they can say no. And we can't do anything. But if they say yes, they're in line with the grievance policy.
What issues with the principal? You know what I'm saying?
But then that's where you go to the next level.
Links,
Superintendent,
links,
change the
links.
man.
No,
steps.
but if one of the links is the, can you bypass that link and
I
come
mean,
down?
once you went through your
Yeah.
principal, right?
You-
You
I
went
mean,
through your principal, and that
you
link
go-
didn't work.
yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to go to the-
Document,
Yeah,
document,
yeah.
document.
There you go, there you go.
Then you'll have a leg to stand on. But you know as well as I do, we've had, well, you were a little young. And a parent would call directly up here, you need to watch Trenton Mayville Comfort possible, they got no more scramble this weekend. They just let you be heads up on certain things. That's a past issue, we have had those issues in forever, but that would be an instance that, yeah, you wanna hear from that. And they usually were good about calling the principal, and of course, they would tell us, and we got on side, but we haven't had that issue in forever. Knock on wood.
On this goal and direction discussion, I know you've received your evaluation from each one of us or whatever. And this would probably be a closed session item, I'm just gonna ask, do you have any concerns or any goals you want to say you're gonna try to strive different this coming year that you might not have done last year because of the, pandemic changing everything hourly instead of weekly or daily? And, also, I mean, do you want to get with us, say the 29th or whatever, and ask us in closed session, what didn't you feel like you were doing right or whatever? But I feel like it needs to be, because it's your evaluation and your performance. I think it needs to be in closed session because it's about personnel. But I mean, it might help you in our goals and our direction with you too, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think, at the end of the evaluation, it talks about setting 3 to 5 goals for superintendent for next year. So, some of these things come under the managerial
Okay.
element of leadership that could be in there. So I think it would be a good idea for me to draft 3 to 4 goals that incorporate all these things and present to you in executive session or get to you for you to review. And that way we're all on the same page.
Sure.
That's all I got.
Well, that would have been my last thing too, is anything that you had for the board wise, that you would like us to, do or see done different. But appreciate you bringing it up, Mr. Griffin.
We're all in this together, whether we like it or not.
I like it, I love it.
You're seeing good times.
It
Hey, this is a piece of cake. Larry's seen a few of the tough, rough times.
It's been all cake,
No,
all cake.
I think,
no icing.
Kind of dry sometimes.
I feel like from the academic standpoint of last year, moving into this year, just keep your eyes on the academics. I think we've all pretty much said that, but that transition from the COVID to the, let's do it,
If it takes a fireworks show, cow milking, whatever at the beginning, let's start off strong,
yeah.
please.
Still gonna be in masks.
Shiny things, whatever. I mean, really, we're in a whole-
Keep it up. I think we've done a good job from what I'm hearing.
Thank you. Thank all of y'all for your help and your insight into things, and so learning endeavor, and I appreciate working with all of you, and I appreciate even though this past 16, 18 months has been unusual, I still appreciate the opportunity and have enjoyed, working here and working with the people here. So thank you for that.
I just hope we can get one full year in with no interruptions, because we ain't had one since 17, 18.
knock on wood. Just
or whatever.
don't even talk
I'm ready to play a
about
game without it raining, ain't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it. We're operating under a 2-hour delay right now.
That
I'm
was a
ready to play a
good
game
call.
without it
for
raining now, ain't
from
you?
Timmy.
I agree.
Raining every game.
You gotta do what you
It's the
gotta
same way with everybody.
do. Mhm.
I really want to be
It's not
safe.
a matter of everybody.
Let's do this. What are we doing?
Any more superintendent goals right now? Y'all okay? Okay. We'll move into the superintendent's comments. Board members can, they kind of run together. I don't know if we've already talked about it, unless you had something else.
No, sir, I'm good.
I think I'm good. Unless y'all
On the
have-
board
I'm
member
good.
comment,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the sessions we were in this past week, there was 2 or 3, there was one on SRO that lasted a while. The guy was I'd heard him talk a couple of times on SROs. I thought it would have been, I think this board got a lot out of that. I was telling about the two because it happened the day before he got down there. But we had 2 or 3 really good speakers on it about the issues and what they needed to do. It was really good.
Handle this, basically, keep law enforcement out of specific situations. They're there, but they're not part of a conversation with the student and the principal or whoever unless they're needed.
And we've always
It's a
said that
good,
the SROs are out there to help the students
yeah,
and not, we had some issues with past SROs that give kids tickets in the parking lot to give them points on their record.
Yeah, that's what I.
And that was an issue that we didn't really want to see, you
I'd
know,
rather not.
and that was addressed. I don't know that we're having anything like that now.
Recently.
They need to be a positive link, not something not looking to arrest, but looking to enhance in the right direction. And that's what that was really what that guy was speaking on. It'd be great for SROs to have heard what this, he's from Cary and he was a middle school SRO.
And he served a lot of different capacities with
Yeah.
that program.
But I'm not saying nothing against our SROs. I don't know that there's anything wrong or whatever. I've been lucky and hadn't had many calls and nothing on the SRO people.
He really was aware of the needs of the students. Matter of fact, he said he was giving one of his former students away this weekend. You know, just
a high
see
compliment.
stuff like that a lot. The kids,
That says a lot.
he built a good rapport and was speaking about the importance of that.
To bring up the incidents, you know, the SRO that we've been talking about. I said we don't.
I agree.
Okay. We'll leave that to a closed session comment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
That's all my comments.
okay. Any other discussions anymore? Okay. Being no further business of the board, this concludes our June 21st, 2021 special call meeting. Our next meeting will be June 29th, a Tuesday at 5 here in this office. I may not be here for that. I don't know yet.
So that's a Tuesday?
What is is that just a regular call, regular meeting?
We got adopted
But
a budget, interim budget, so we can get through October,
Did you say Tuesday?
something like that.
It's a Tuesday,
June, Tuesday.
Well,
What,
I think we're doing
We have
what
to,
time, Doc?
June 29th.
we've already
Tuesday at
adopted the
5.
regular budget.
Would
This
you rather
we have
do
to
it on Monday?
have like an emergency fund, and it
It
just
ain't
goes
matter.
out like
That's that
3
whole
months.
tournament.
I think it's called an interim budget, but I'm not sure.
Right,
That's
what it is.
That's why we have to do it at the last minute, so they can close the books if I change them on the 29th.
I mean, if I miss it, I just miss it. I mean, I know that's got to be done before July 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, they gotta have it, they'll give the next day to close out everything.
I'll know more about that day this afternoon, but
Well, can you call in from there? You don't know.
I hate to say it, it's a tournament for softball, so I don't know. The brackets haven't been set yet.
I go coach the team.
He's been wanting to conduct a meeting the whole time anyway.
I
This is his chance.
I can be all over
He'll pay you to not come.
I know you practiced up on this.
Oh, is that week or is it? a
It
week?
starts on Saturday and it runs to that Wednesday. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, y'all, by that time, it should be the budget should be well assembled.
Yeah.
It should be quick one for y'all.
Yeah, if there's any last minute things, Melissa will bring them to us at that meeting, we'll just have to adopt them.
Tuesday.
And she can send you that stuff and you can forward it, you know, if you have any questions, forward it to Shamar, or just email us all or whatever, email Dr. Thigpen, he can represent your comments.
Actually, but y'all are going to discuss you said the fifth graders.
The sixth grade discussion will take place.
All right, we'll see. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
But I mean, don't stop the meeting for me. Y'all can do it today.
Okay.
June 29th, Tuesday at 5 is our next board meeting here in this office.
Motion to it, motion to
Entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
No second.
Billy made a motion. Mr. Walson second. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries 5-0, meeting adjourned.
Pass it
Yes, I think it is.
out, I don't think it's.